always our problems, and you just never solve them, cause you always in drama. It's alarming, it's alarming. Girl, I just need clarity. Can you just let me breathe? Oh, I don't wanna let you in, but it's too late now.
I officially think I have seen the most baffling transfer rumour in terms of what I've seen today in Kabongo Tshimanga being linked to Wrexham. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe and tap that bell for more notifications. And let's move on into this video in terms of where we discuss the rumour that's come to light of Wrexham reportedly bidding £500,000 for Peterborough United striker Kabongo Tshimanga. So it has been reported by Team Talk that Peterborough United have received a £500,000 bid from Wrexham for 25-year-old striker Kabongo Tshimanga. Now, that's the facts that we know at the moment. Now, that's just reports, it's rumours, it's nothing really in terms of the way it is. I don't know if that's true or not, so I couldn't really tell you, but I'm just going off the reports that we've seen today in terms of all over social media, in terms of Peterborough United, Wrexham and Kabongo Tshimanga. But delving into his player profile, he graduated from the MK Dons under-18 side to the first team in January 3rd, 2015. He then made his move on loan to Aldershot Town in January 30th, 2015. He then returned off his loan spell back to from Aldershot back to MK Dons on February 28th, 2015. April 29th, 2016, he made his loan move again to a side that I couldn't even pronounce. I think it's Thrutter or someone. Thrutter, it's an Iceland team, a team in Iceland. He made his loan move there and then returned off his loan spell in July 18th, 2016. January 31st, 2017, Kabongo Tshimanga made his move on loan to Yeovil Town and returned on May 31st, 2017. July 1st, 2017, Kabongo Tshimanga then left MK Dons to join Boston United on a free transfer. July 1st, 2018, Kabongo Tshimanga went from Boston United to Oxford City on a free transfer. In July 1st, 2019, he went from Oxford City to Boreham Wood on a free transfer. And on August 10th, 2021, Kabongo Tshimanga went from Boreham Wood to Chesterfield on a permanent deal. So in January 31st, 2023, Kabongo Tshimanga went from Chesterfield to Peterborough on loan. And then his loan spell ended on May 31st, 2023. And then he joined Peterborough on a permanent deal July 1st, 2023. So in terms of last year's statistics, he played 17 games in the National League for Chesterfield, scoring 7 goals and playing a total time of 744 minutes. He played 8 League One games for Peterborough, playing a total of 115 minutes. 4 FA Cup games, playing a total of 104 minutes, and 1 League One playoff game. And in total, he had 963 minutes, 30 appearances and 7 goals. Now, this season, he's just played the 1 EFL Cup game, which was against Swindon Town, I believe it was. Swindon Town, which, you know, Peterborough won on penalties, and he played a total of 45 minutes. So, in essence, that's all we need to know about Kabongo Tshimanga in terms of that. But where does it stand for the lads now? For me, Jake Bickerstaff, who's been revealed by Phil Parkinson, is set to go out on loan. And for me, I don't know, it's probably the most mind-boggling, baffling transfer that there is. Of any Peterborough United striker, you're probably looking at Johnson Clark-Harris. Now, you know, speaking of him, he was transfer listed at the end of the season. Johnson Clark-Harris being left 1 year on his deal now at the club. It makes sense to go in for him rather than someone like Kabongo Tshimanga, who's notably, his attitude issues are the reason why he left Chesterfield. And, you know, he tried to push that move through to Birmingham and his medical failed and stuff like that. Ideally, I wouldn't want someone who couldn't make an impact for a Peterborough side to join Wrexham. And I do understand he's 5'11", so it makes probably a lot of sense in terms of that Mullin replacement. But you've got Jake Bickerstaff who's doing just as well. You know, he links up with Ollie Palmer very well. And for me, it's a no-brainer to see Jake Bickerstaff in the team over someone like Kabongo Tshimanga. Plus you're saving yourself £500,000 as well. So in terms of that, it is a madness to see that this rumour has come out. Now, as I say, I don't know the truth in it. I don't know if it's a factual, it's you know, it's just reports on what I've seen, but people are going, yeah, I'll have Kabongo Tshimanga. Well, what's the point? I understand Jake Bickerstaff's going out on loan anyway the moment Mullen's back, but at that point you look at it and go, well, is Billy Waters getting shipped out? There's a lot of questions to ask in regards to Kabongo Tshimanga to Wrexham and how that deal would work. Now, I understand people would go, yeah, I want him because he was class at Chesterfield, you know. He challenged Mullen for the Golden Boot, I think it was a couple of seasons back as well. You know, if it wasn't for that injury, he probably would have won it. But you got to realise this isn't the National League, this is the Football League. And he had that move to League One where he couldn't hack it. So if you look at it in the bigger scale of things, could he hack it if he went to Wrexham and, you know, the way Wrexham play, which I don't know. I really don't know it in terms of how he settles in and everything like that. And you'd think, though, playing around better players in a higher league, if you can finish your chances and you do have that quality there, then maybe, you know, you should be able to take that step up. But for Kabongo Tshimanga, he's not been really able to do that. Now, going back to that Jake Bickerstaff loan thing, I do think that's bizarre too, and I do think this whole video in terms is bizarre and baffling from what I've heard today, and that's just my opinion on things. I think the Jake Bickerstaff, he settled in well with Ollie Palmer up front, and, you know, whilst Mullen's out, you know, it makes sense for Jake Bickerstaff to start. There's no point going, well, we're going to loan him out, or, you know, if he hits the ground running, it'll suit him for a loan move and stuff like that, because understandably, from my knowledge, Jake Bickerstaff was meant to be loaned out in January last season, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen, so why not use him to the arsenal that you've got? Add them to that collection where you go, do you know what, when Mullen's back, we're going to put you on the bench, we'll bring you on with 25, 30 minutes to go, then assess the situation in January. I think to bring another striker in right now, unless it's someone who's top tier, and I mean top tier isn't like Clark Harris, Aaron Collins, or anyone like that, I think that's just not needed, to be honest, and that's just my full thoughts on that. I think Kabongo Tshimanga for the National League is top tier, but for the Football League, he's probably not in my eyes anyway. Now, you guys can probably say to me, Jebbo, you know nothing. Well, that's probably factual, because I'm sitting here making a YouTube video, and I'm not the one who's doing the scouting, or I'm not the one who's, you know, making that final decision and the final nod in terms of it, Kabongo Tshimanga, whether he signs for Wrexham or not. But at the end of the day, I'm just passing forward my comments. Now, would you guys like to see Kabongo Tshimanga at the club? For me personally, it's a big no on the spectrum of that deal. Would you guys like to see Jake Bickerstaff go out on loan? For me right now, I'd probably leave it till January. That's just my thoughts, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, I don't really know much else to add on to this, apart from the fact that the only thing that he's got going for him is the fact that he's 5'11" and he's 25 years of age. Now, I know this sounds baffling, but in terms of Luke Armstrong and Kabongo Tshimanga, I would rather have Tshimanga, because that is like the Mullen replacement. With Armstrong, you've got to kind of make either leeway with Ollie Palmer or Sam Dalby, because I think from what I've heard, he plays to the strengths of Palmer and Dalby. But if I had to choose one between Tshimanga and Armstrong, I'd probably choose Tshimanga, just because he's more of the Mullen replacement, as everyone likes to call it. But yeah, so we'll leave it there, guys. If you are new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and tap that bell for more notifications as and when I do upload. Would you like to see Kabongo Tshimanga join Wrexham? And what's your thoughts on the reported fee as well? Let me know in the comments section down below. But until next time, guys, I shall see you guys on another video.